we've covered something like this before. Once again, mock slave auctions targeting students. Let me first take you to Massachusetts. Put up the picture full mass. This is Southwick, Massachusetts. Authorities are now investigating an explosive episode of racial bullying connected with Southwick Regional School after white students allegedly hosted a slave auction. This was on social media in which bids were placed on black classmates. A group of students at Southwick Regional High have been accused of creating an online slave auction in a Snapchat group called Black People Are Low Class, end quote. According to NBC 10 Boston, the group of students allegedly placed bids on black students at Southwick for $2 and $4. Before I go into some of the prior incidents, I want to remind you that conservatives will take some extreme story that's likely completely untrue to make a policy or political point. For example, they will say, oh, you got children saying that they identify as cats now. That's the big problem in my school. Completely false. Not a problem at all. It's absurd. But they will utilize that extreme position in order to make a political policy or partisan point, right? But then you have real situations, plural, like this one. They provide no leadership. They provide absolutely no remedy. They barely provide any response. So prior to the incident, white students also allegedly hurled racial slurs toward black female students. That's according to the Springfield branch of the NAACP. A mother of a black student at the school filed a civil complaint after she said her daughter was the primary target in both incidents. Allison Lopez claims her child has now faced discrimination at Southwick Regional High School for multiple months, culminating in the mock auction in the middle of Black History Month. The girl's name was being withheld because she is a minor, and we respect that. The Southwick Tolland Granville Regional School District completed its investigation on the 16th of February, turned over their findings to the Hampton District Attorney's Office, Attorney DA Anthony Guluni, to determine whether criminal charges should be filed. It's ironic they deal with it inside of the school first, but no, let's send to the DA's office for criminal charges. School officials said they were limited in what they could reveal about who was involved in the incident due to strict laws protecting student privacy, but they assured the community that appropriate disciplinary actions were taken. Now, I'm going to say this about their original statement. They can't talk about this, can't talk about that. That's a lie, all right? They cannot specifically identify students. They cannot talk directly about the student and disciplinary action. They cannot do that, but they can generally tell you what policies they have enacted. They can generally tell you what they will and will not accept. And they can generally tell you what they are going to do different moving forward, but they did not. The school district faced controversy in 2022 when a boys' bathroom was vandalized with racist graffiti, with the principal calling the incident one of the most disrespectful and hateful acts he had ever witnessed. Other mock slave auctions, let's go to Oregon. A similar incident happened back in 2021. Newburgh High School shared photos of two black classmates captured, $100 each, and another melanin deficient ingrate respondent. I'll take them for $150 as the pair. That year in Missouri, 4 students at Park Hill South High School were disciplined after a petition seeking to restart slavery was posted on social media. In 2022, North Carolina, J.S. Waters School, where some of the white baseball players carried out a mock slave auction with one student, went for $350. Another student was the, quote, slave master because he knew how to handle them, end quote. And the list goes on and on and on. You see, this is bullying too. Remember that entire campaign against bullying in the schools? Remember that? You had all kinds of celebrities and people like Dr. Phil, who likes to exploit individuals on his program. You have all these individuals who are making commercials and PSAs, and we got to tackle this. And then the federal government gets involved. They say, okay, if you could show that you're decreasing bullying incidents, we will give you federal money to participate in our Stop Bullying campaign. But you got to show decrease, right? To qualify for more money. So what did school systems do? They started to determine that racial bullying is more like horseplay, children being children, and would not typically qualify under the banner of bullying. Isn't that ironic? We have reported right here on Indisputable of Black children committing, attempting to at times, unsuccessfully. And to many, this still is not a problem. This is not an issue worthy of policy dynamics. Jackson, this is very sad because you and I both understand the true psychological effect that this can bring on a child that may internalize this or at some point act out.
Yeah, and there's, several elements to it. Obviously, one of them are the, foundational cultural elements of, how this country came up, how it was put together, different things that we've overcome, but not fully. And we see this through examples like this, also through policy shifts, but also too an element of kind of the stick it to the libs culture where things that aren't funny are made to be funny, like what you pointed out really ultimately is just bullying, but two, just kind of that whole element of the right wing of just kind of, poking it at people's identities in some type of way to get reactions. So there's kind of that edge lord element to it as well. But one of the real problematic things about this is how long it can take for societies to get over much of anything. And also point to just the real elements of human nature that we have to manage properly, that we have to take care of, that we all in our personal lives have to do our best to love one another because of how it can impact, the world around us if we don't.
Right.
But again, I mean, these are kids doing this. So, I mean, it could be 20, 15, 20 years before these kids grow out of that way of thinking, if they ever do at all. And then, of course, the ones who don't will pass that on to their children. So, it's just a cycle that we have to keep on fighting against.
And we know good and damn well racism is learned. It is a taught behavior. It is a taught behavior.